At Native Maine, we work with over 88 local farms and producers across the state. It's such an honor to be able to work with such amazing farmers and manufacturers.
We really value our partnership with Native Maine. They're just a great group of people to work with. When you buy from a local business, that local business owner is using that money to pay local people to work and then go out into the community and spend those dollars. Native Maine can do that for us, and we can focus on growing the food.
We're the pros at growing the mushrooms, and Native Maine are the pros at distributing them.
For all of you who have been so excited to incorporate more vegetarian things into your diets, and then you see mushrooms popping up a lot in your recipes.
I think there's a stigma around mushrooms, right? And people think like they're slimy, or they come from a can, or you get them on a pizza that looks gross, right? I think we're gonna change that,
Game
right?
changer.
Yeah. So it's like Alice in Wonderland when you see some of these things. So I'm so excited to get into cooking these and showing you guys all different methods of how to use them.
Yeah, and so we are in Kennebunk at the beautiful Hancock Lumber Kitchen Design Showroom, and I'm gonna show you one of my favorite little ways to use mushrooms.
Look at these mushrooms. I'm gonna quickly go through some of these so we can start cooking. But these are shiitake mushrooms right here, the big kind of caps that they have on them. You have to rip off the stem. The stem's a little tough and fibrous. It's great for mushroom stock, or you can put it in your chicken stock or beef stock, but they're super tender, right? They cook up really good like a steak. Once you caramelize a shiitake mushroom, it'll change everything of how you think of mushrooms. Next up here, we have some beautiful oyster mushrooms, and these are perfect. I love pulling these apart just like this, and even just tearing them a little bit and cooking them in shreds. Maggie's gonna show us what she did with these. These are a great mushroom, probably my favorite. These are called lion's mane mushrooms, and they're soft, right? Just like a lion's mane. And when you take them apart, you can see how they're very porous and airy. I like to slice these into wedges, cook them kind of like you'd make piccata, like chicken piccata, dip them in a little egg batter and hard sear them. Delicious, delicious mushroom. These ones were some of my favorites when I used to cook in the restaurant. They're called king trumpets or king oyster mushrooms. I love how they have the little toadstool on the top part. You slice them down the middle and you sear them up. They're gonna be great. We're gonna show you what to do with these when we get into one of our other recipes. These mushrooms, probably one of my most fun to say. These are called piapinos. These mushrooms, look at the stalk on those. Everything's edible on this, okay? These are great for grilling. You can get some really good char. I think with piapinos, if you get a good char flavor on it, that's what really will enhance the flavor of them, okay? And then you come up to some other oyster mushrooms, like when we saw these ones, these were nice and dark, right? These are some gray oysters, and then these are some butter oysters. Look how yellow they are. And they come in many different varieties. They're just beautiful, like a rose color. So if you've thought mushrooms come in a can, definitely not. And the wide array of mushrooms that are available to us now is incredible. And this doesn't even include any of our foraging, right? So this is gonna be really exciting to get into these and start cooking.
Truth be told, I was one of those people that Josh was talking about. Bad experiences with mushrooms growing up, and I just refused to try them. But over the past couple years, being exposed to these more heirloom cultivated cool mushrooms, I love them now, and this is one of my favorite things to do. So you can pretty much use any type of mushrooms. We're gonna make a mushroom confit, which acts as a really cool condiment that you can just keep in your fridge. So leftover mushrooms, if you have an abundance of mushrooms, you can pretty much use any kind. You're gonna cook them down with some oil, shallots, tomatoes, and garlic. You don't wanna boil them. Just have them simmer, let them dance around, get to know each other. And then we're gonna turn that heat off just when it looks like everything is combined and the mushrooms start to get a little bit soft, but they're not gonna get mushy. That's one of the reasons we like using oyster mushrooms, because they really hold their shape. Then what we're gonna do is we're gonna add some herbs. I love using tarragon because all things French. Parsley gives a little freshness, red wine vinegar because we need the acid, and a little bit of sugar. All right, that is all combined, and to store this, you can just put it in a mason jar in your fridge. Just make sure the oil stays covered, so check on it every few days, and if it absorbs, just top it off with a little more olive oil. And this goes amazing on anything, truly, in pasta, chicken, swordfish. So Josh was at Harbor Fish yesterday and picked up some gorgeous swordfish. Is it done, baby?
Oh, it's perfect.
All right.
Look at this. That's perfect.
All right, we're gonna put on some of that beautiful confit, drizzle it with this.
Perfect.
How quick was that? You already have this in your fridge ready to go. Go to your favorite fishmonger, get it, and then you're blowing your family away with how good this are. I promise they're gonna like mushrooms after this. So for this and all of our chef tips, please visit platethestate.com.